Today, in beautiful Paris, France, two of the game's all-time greats compete again for the coveted Grand Slam title, the championship of the French Open. And here they are for the 1985 title, a rematch of last year's final. Champion Martina Navratilova and Evert. The 28-year-old Navratilova is in quest of a rare triple this weekend, trying to win the singles, doubles, and the mixed. It's been 21 years since Margaret Court won all three. Evert trying to establish a new women's record. A win today would give the 30-year-old Floridian her sixth French singles title, a new mark. The game's two best of this era, each with a chance today to further establish herself as one of the greatest in her sport. Last year, Navratilova at match point completed a rare 4 straight Grand Slam championships with an impressive win against Evert, who was crushed under the solid shot-making of Navratilova in the near court. No matter how precise Chris's shots, Martina's were as good or better. It would be only the 4th time in an 11-year span that Evert would be beaten on the red clay of Roland Garros. And there was no doubt as to who was best. Navratilova 6-3, 6-1, and $1 million bonus for 4 slams in a row. 1985, Martina in the semifinals against the rangy 20-year-old German, Claudia Kota-Kilch. Since first wearing glasses back in March, Navratilova has not lost a match. In fact, she has not relinquished a single set. Navratilova in the far court, patient, solid, smashes her way into the finals in straight sets. Is she nervous facing her long-standing rival in today's final?
If it's nerves, it's good nerves. It's not, I wonder how it'll go, because we've played so many times and had so many different matches that it's just, oh, well, just another one. Let's go for it and we'll see what happens.
In her semifinal, Chris, the number 2 seed, also swept through in straight sets against the 15-year-old Argentinian phenom Gabriela Sabatini. Chris in the near court took the young teenager to school, offering a lesson in controlling, dictating a point. She sent the athletic Sabatini on a yo-yo trip from sideline to sideline at Roland Garros. It was vintage Evert finally putting the talented teenager away, 6-4, 6-1. Now it's Martina. Chris, true to form, has assimilated well the recent dominance of Navratilova.
Well, I just don't think I'm fearful anymore. I think, when you have a string of losses, as I had against Martina, 11 times, 12 times, 13 times, it gets to be a psychological barrier. And I feel that I've broken that barrier. And but I remember sitting here last year saying, oh, I have a good chance, and I got killed. So I think the most important thing for me is just to play my game well, and then whatever happens, happens.
Thank you.
So with one of the world's giant monuments as a backdrop, it's Navratilova and Evert, 2 champions, rivals and friends in a major duel on the terre battue of Roland Garros. The winner today claims not only the 1985 French championship, but an opportunity to etch a stronger place in the all-time history of greatness in her sport. NBC Sports welcomes you to historic, beautiful Paris for today's satellite coverage of the Women's Championship Final. The 1985 French Open is brought to you by Lowenbrau. When you want the taste of a truly great beer, there's really only one. Tonight, let it be Lowenbrau. By Liberty Mutual for your auto, home, life, and business insurance. By Nike. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. To arrange a thorough test drive, phone your nearest BMW dealer.
Super BMW. Here's luxury and performance from the makers of...
Looks like a BMW, performs almost like a BMW.
For those car companies currently attempting to catch up with BMW, some disturbing news. The BMW 528e, an inspired paradox of high performance and high efficiency, and one of the most technologically advanced BMWs ever built. The 528e, the forerunner of imitations to come.
Have you ever seen so many clams? It's incredible.
Here's two good friends.
Wow, look at the size of that.
Night is kind of special. Beer will pour.
This is the only way to go shopping.
Must say something more somehow.
I think Linda picked up some lowenbrow.
So tonight.
Now tell me, how are we going to top this?
Tonight.
Well, we got all summer to try.
Let it be lowenbrow.
They believe in Liberty Mutual Insurance. Families that put their confidence and trust in our experience.
We're Liberty Mutual for your auto, home, life, and business insurance.
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
The sun above Stade Roland Garros has broken through. It's been playing hide and seek with the clouds all afternoon, and that's a welcome relief. It has warmed this air a bit. It is a chilly June afternoon for this women's championship, but what a hot rivalry. Martina Navratilova, Chris Evert Lloyd. This will be the 65th time they've met in their careers, 14 of those in Grand Slam finals.
Well, Dick, there's never been a rivalry like this in tennis. You look back in women's tennis, the two Helens of the 1920s and 30s, Helen Wills, Helen Jacobs. But it wasn't nearly as long, or Billie Jean King and Margaret Court. Not as long, but this rivalry just goes on and on. 13 years. And who were the finalists 10 years ago on this court? Chrissy and Martina, and here they are back again. It's extraordinary. And the margin is narrower than my girlfriend's mind. 33-31 for Navratilova.
Chris Evert Lloyd, while she plays today the most dominant woman in tennis the last 3 years, has a string going, and hope goes with it. 11 straight years she's won at least one of the Grand Slam championships.
That, again, is incredible. The big four titles, the majors, Australia, France, Wimbledon, and the United States. Starting here in 1974, Chrissy began that streak. It's high quality, durability, and of course today she wants to keep it going.
Well, a woman who has admired the talents as an opponent of Chris and Martina through the years is our colleague down near the red clay at Roland Garros' center court. Let's go to Joanne Russell.
Dick, down here on center court, it's very windy. Not as cold as it was this morning, and it's warming up very nicely. But the wind, I think, is going to favor Chris. Earlier this year, she played in the Virginia Slims of Florida. She and Martina had a good match. Chris was playing well. It was very windy, and defeated her 2-4. Also, I think Chris's concentration has really been good this tournament. Against Sabatini in the semifinals, it was a close first set, and then she crushed her 6-1 in the second set. I think Chris has a very good chance to win today.
And the crowd here at Roland Garros would agree with you, at least emotionally. They gave Chris Evert Lloyd a sizable cheer. She was introduced by the chair umpire, Muriel Decugy, and there she is, properly attired for her very important role in this championship match.
Quel chapeau. She's a very good umpire, and she's the first woman ever permitted to umpire a final of any sort in the French Open. That happened a few years ago.
Chris Evert Lloyd has won the toss and will begin the match on serve. Martina Navratilova off to another great start this year. 41-2. Her only losses to Chris at Delray and Hanna Mandlikova indoors earlier.
And a current streak of 23 match wins. Of course, she holds the record, 74 straight last year.
So that means 46 straight sets without a loss since she adorned those glasses.
I think I better go get a pair.
Chris Evert Lloyd going for a record 6th French championship.
Premier set, service, Madame Navratilova. Play. Un peu de silence, s'il vous plaît. Merci.
The crowd settling down. The wind could well be a factor. unpredictable, and when it blows, it gusts strongly. Martina. She has overwhelmed the women's game in the last 3.5 years. You can count all her losses on 2 hands. Over 300 matches since January '82. Martina has been beaten but 8 times. Wide.
0-30.
Love 30.
I ran into Mats Wilander just before the match began, and he said, this is Chrissy's kind of conditions as it was mine against John McEnroe yesterday.
Good play made by Chris. That ball was skidding off the line, and a perfect lob. 15-30.
And she grew up in windy conditions in Fort Lauderdale on the ocean, on clay.
One of the greatest clay artists ever. 13 years as a pro, she's lost only 11 times on a clay surface court. Double break point right off the bat for Martina Navratilova.
15-40.
Martina getting right into it, approaching, and she can stretch. Hey, look who's up there.
And a nice stretch volley for Chris. That erases 1 break chance.
30-40.
I think she realizes that she's going to have to do more than just play baseline against Martina.
30-40. Oh, my. That's quite a recovery from 15-40 to deuce.
Well, the first game is important, so important. Chrissy, who's been battered in recent matches against Martina, doesn't want to start off with a break of serve. Now look at her, following her backhand to the net, and she has the point.
It's long. The advantage for Chris. Well, to show you how these two women have dominated the big championships, this will be the 14th straight time that either Navratilova or Evert Lloyd has won a Grand Slam championship. Have to go all the way back to 1981, the U.S. Open. Tracy Austin was the outsider to win to break this monopoly. It's wide. Chris Evert Lloyd survives. Full of break chances for Martina, but Chris takes the early lead.
I've got to play well today. Last time I played this guy, it was tough. Start fast. Get on top early. Be aggressive. Think. think for a change.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next
Hope my
match
Sox match.
played on the center court will be the men's singles final between...
Americans have a peculiar image of the Frenchman, wearing expensive clothes, surrounded by beautiful women, and sipping champagne. Not true, although I must admit I do enjoy my champagne. Thank you. It's J. Roger champagne. It's deliciously crisp, dry, and yet romantically subtle. It fits my simple lifestyle. J. Roger, perfect for a quiet night at home. J. Roger champagne, one of life's simple pleasures.
Computerland, the world's largest computer retailer, presents Martina Navratilova with a tip on
Concentration. Distractions can destroy your game. You have to work at concentration. Block out everything around you. Forget about the next court, the gallery, everything except your game. Concentrate, and you'll know exactly where the ball is on every shot.
There's only one #1 in tennis, and there's only one #1 in computer retailing. Computerland. Thanks, Martina.
An American tradition continues. He was the first player in the National League to be named MVP for 2 consecutive seasons. He is Chicago's Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Now MVP Ryne Sandberg leads the Cubs as they face the Pirates, or the Dodgers meet the Braves. The tradition is here. The memories are waiting.
Chris Evert Lloyd, a scare. A couple of break chances for Navratilova, but Chris holds to open this match. She goes for a record 6th French Open championship. Martina, who won last year, is looking for her 3rd title and a chance at a rare triple. That hasn't been done since Margaret Court back in '64. The singles, doubles, and mixed. She's in the finals of all 3. Navratilova to serve.
Playing doubles with Pam Shriver, mixed doubles with the Swiss, Heinz Guntard. You can hear those shutters at courtside. I see Carol Newsom down there, Russo Adamo, John Russell, Steve Zerley, a lot of American photographers.
Hmm. 15 all. Wide. Good hustle get by Martina to keep the point alive, and that lob apparently an expression of some early strategy by Chris. Astigmatism and some nearsightedness, nothing serious, but Martina feels that the glasses have helped, and how can you argue with the record?
After losing in the National Indoor, Princeton, New Jersey, to Hanna Manlikova, and the final set of that match at Love, she ran to the optometrist. Oh, net cord.
And it's wide.
40-30.
40-30. million experience for Martina last year when she won here. 4 Grand Slams in a row. It's wide.
She didn't really move in very well on that. It was a bit casual.
Égalité.
Martina went on to win 6 consecutive Grand Slams before Chris took the Australian Open last December. Right in the corner. So a break point for Chris Evert Lloyd.
Avantage. Madame Evert Lloyd.
She's got it. An early break for Chris Evert Lloyd. She leads in the first set 2-love. From beautiful Paris, the Eiffel Tower in the background as we visit with you live from Roland Garros. That Chris Evert Lloyd Martina Navratilova match was one of the classics of these French championships, and obviously is over now. But here's what we've done. We're going to bring you up to date quickly. In the first set, Chris went on to hold and won that set 6-3. But it wasn't to be the same in the second, although she came very close to winning it right there.
She served for the match at 6-5 in the second set, and Martina would not let her have it. Provoked a tiebreaker, 6 games all, and Martina won that 7-4. And you know, Dick, I wondered for the 65th version of this rivalry what these two women could do for an encore, and they did it. I think this is their best ever.
Well, we're going to show you all of the third and deciding set. That will be the bulk of our report from Paris on this afternoon. We want to remind everyone to get the cafe and croissant ready. Live coverage tomorrow. The men's final, Mats Wielander and Ivan Lendl. That'll be at 9 o'clock Eastern time. You folks out there on the West Coast, be sure you checked your listings in your newspaper for the time that we'll be visiting with you. We will go to the deciding third set. Will it be Navratilova or Chris Evert Lloyd?
What a finish by Williams. Just one hurdle left.
Gatorade is thirst aid.
Oh, flag down on the field. Hopkins is called for clipping.
Gatorade is thirst aid.
Nice comeback by Reynolds, facing one of the most consistent players in the game.
When you exercise, you lose potassium, fluids, minerals. Gatorade Thirst Quencher helps put them back fast.
That's why the pros drink it. It's thirst aid.
Gatorade is thirst aid. For that deep down body thirst.
American Express presents...
I gotta catch a plane.
Projected.
You'll see a list of the managers and the various graph form.
I gotta catch a plane. Next time you make plane reservations, use the American Express card and United Airlines Advanced Check-In. Because you'll already have your ticket, boarding pass, and seat assignment, you can go straight on the plane. With United Airlines Advanced Check-In, you'll have a few extra minutes next time you...
Gotta catch a plane.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
They're put through endless technical briefings. Education in computer diagnostics. A training program designed for airline pilots. Then they're deemed qualified to service a BMW. BMW service technicians aren't just hired for their hands. They're hired for their brains.
An international field of drivers battle it out at the British Grand Prix Motorcycle Championship. NBC Sports World. There is a world of difference.
Along the River Seine, a French tradition, the expression of artistic talent. And now 2 artists on the red clay fighting for the French Open Championship. Martina Navratilova, she was facing a double break point for Chris Evert Lloyd, trailing 4-2 in the second set. She was able to race those, battle back, break Evert Lloyd, and then win the tiebreaker 7-4. And this match even. Evert Lloyd to serve in the final set.
Her volleying is in tune now.
0-15.
But she's also approaching more to Chris's forehand, whereas in the first and part of the second set, she went almost exclusively down the line to Chris's backhand and was passed quite a bit.
Crossed her up there. She was looking for the ball down the middle. 15-all. Just caught the line.
15-30.
Just wide, and the wind was really playing tricks with the ball in that rally, was it not, Joanne?
It certainly was, and also there's a lot of sand blowing across the court. At the start of the third set, they did rebrush the court, but they didn't spray any water on it.
So important that Chris holds to open this third set after the disappointment that must have come with that tiebreaker.
And serving for the match at 6-5.
Touch winner. Evert Lloyd holds to open the third set.
Ooh, Lipton tea, you made new, decaffeinated just for me.
Now there's something new under the sun. Introducing Lipton Decaffeinated Instant Iced Tea.
Ooh, Lipton tea, you made new, decaffeinated just for me.
Yes, Lipton also has a decaffeinated instant tea any way you like it, with sugar, with NutraSweet, or unsweetened. Delicious.
Ooh, Lipton tea, you made new, decaffeinated just for us.
Let the games begin. Prince.
I care about you, the way you look, the way you set me free. I care about you, 'cause you're special to me.
Owning a turbo feels special, but the feeling won't last if your oil breaks down and your turbocharger goes with it. That's why we make Valvoline Turbo 5, the motor oil specially formulated to withstand the intense heat and stress of turbos. Valvoline, because your car is special.
'Cause you're special to me.
Breakfast in Paris. Tennis whites on red clay. The best in men's tennis at the French Open, Sunday morning on NBC.
There's the wonderful chestnut trees here on the grounds at Roland Garros and those that line the Champs-Élysées in Paris. You can see the wind briskly moving through those giant green leaves. That's high atop the stadium. And now Martina Navratilova serving love 1, third set. And the lob, not a bad play in that wind, although Martina felt she should have had that one. Something that Chris had forsaken after using the lob so effectively in the first set.
Martina going back to the old pattern of chipped approach down the line to the backhand. As Joanne pointed out, she had switched her approaches in the second set, late stages, to the forehand.
Some wonderful hitting by both ladies.
Keeping Martina pinned back, but there's a short ball, and Martina decides to go down the middle, but the backhand is deadly as ever.
3 chances for Evert Lloyd to break. Love 42nd serve.
But Martina's approach shots are landing at mid-court, and you just cannot approach the net on Chris with a short approach shot.
Martina patiently staying back, hoping to out-rally Chris, not taking any chances at 15-40, and she's erased another break chance. She was there, but so was the net. A break for Evert Lloyd. She leads 2-love in the third.
Chrissy is drawn in by the short ball, but she doesn't retreat. Now, she moves in to make a tap volley, which Martina couldn't quite field.
And she turned around and looked, thank goodness she missed that. In
case you're just joining us, Chris Evert Lloyd won the first set 6-3, was up a break in the second. Martina rallied and took the tiebreaker by a score of 7-4 to even the match. Now Chris has broken Martina in her first service attempt in the third to leave 2-love. Pretty easy second ball, Bud.
Well, that's the ball that Martina threw out, building up a big lead in the last couple of years, has terrorized Chrissy with destroying her second serve. Now, there's nothing half-hearted about Chrissy's volleying. It's not natural to her, but she's moving forward as she volleys, and more often than not, she makes the play.
30-15.
The expression on Chris's face is one of intense concentration. She is so psyched.
It's out, 40-30. Chris a point away from a 3-love lead in the third. Fascinating long rally, the longest of the match, and Navratilova survives. (40-15) to deuce.
During all these rallies, Chris is actually standing inside the baseline waiting for some of Martina's shots, and that's the difference between Chris today and Chris a few matches ago. She is really trying to be aggressive.
We, as the French shout in chorus.
Chrissy, in this long punishing rally, backed off from the overhead the first time she had a chance to hit it and kept Martina in the point. But the second time, she dealt with it.
Again, a point from 3-love. This match now over 2 hours old.
That is the superb athlete, Navratilova.
Égalité.
Look how far she has to go, and not only get there, but hit a virtual winner.
Higuelite. Deuce. Oh, what a play. The ball skidding off the service line, and a defensive chop by Navratilova becomes a winner, and she has a break point. The first of this third set.
She has to play jump rope, and she hit the ball with such backspin, there was no play by Evert Lloyd.
Wide, and Evert Lloyd has lost her serve from 40-15. Navratilova breaks, and we're dead even on serve. 2-1, Navratilova to serve next. And we'll return to Roland Garros, the 1985 French Championships, after these words from your local station. Back in 1974, Roland Garros, a 19-year-old bouncy baseliner from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Chris Evert, in the far court, won her first French title, defeating Olga Morozova of the Soviet Union. Stroking crisply, the teenaged Evert fashioned a solid 6-1, 6-2 win. It was the first of her 5 French titles. 1975, the next year, Chris in the near court faced 18-year-old Czechoslovakian Martina Navratilova. It was their first meeting in a Grand Slam final. After losing the first set, Chris prevailed 2-6, 6-2, 6-1. Little did we know that this would begin a long series of major matches between the two. Last year, tides had shifted toward Martina, now solidly number 1, dominating women's tennis. Chris, number 2, in the midst of a head-to-head losing streak that would reach 13 straight losses to Martina. It was all Navratilova in the near court. She underlined her all-around superb game, hitting smartly from the baseline and attacking strongly, denying Chris a record 6 French title. Was Chris embarrassed by her loss in Paris in '84?
No, I wasn't embarrassed. She just played too well. You know, I'm never embarrassed if I try hard and I put up my best fight. She exposed my weaknesses, let's put it that way, and humiliated me at certain times, but embarrassed, no. I just had to hand it to her. She played a great match, and probably that was the best match she played all year.
Will that happen again?
No. I hope not. I hope not.
As long as there are people who can afford perfection, BMW will continue to pursue it. The BMW 635 CSI.
If you lived in a perfect world, you'd cook on something very like the Weber One Touch. It would give you perfect barbecue flavor because it would circulate heat like a convection oven to keep meats juicy. It would last for years, and it would clean itself with just a touch. Of course, you don't live in a perfect world. But you can cook on the perfect barbecue, the Weber One Touch. From the biggest name in your backyard, Weber.
So what? Want to join? Join a health club? Learn pain?
This gets the kinks out.
It's heavier with the kinks in.
Relax. 2 more things to try.
Like what? Lounge and Lowenbrow. Great.
The beer will pour, must say something more right now.
I think I'll just join the lounge.
Tonight, let it be Lowenbrow.
Martina, fresh from a break of serve, serving 1-2 in the third.
Hands up.
Well, they've played for 2 hours and 5 minutes now. I'd be interested in those first serve percentages. Our statistician Jennifer Proud may have them.
Navratilova 61.5, Evert Lloyd just over 78%.
John Lloyd, the husband.
Good deep hitting by Chris.
15-30.
15-30.
One thing I've noticed is that Chris is hitting the ball so hard. I haven't seen her hit the ball this hard since, we played our first championship in Haines City.
Ooh. Double breaker.
15-40.
Now, she goes again to the backhand with the chip, and the backhand is biting. It's lethal.
It's wide, and Chris breaks right back to take a 3-1 lead in this final set.
Madame Evert Lloyd.
Families have come to us. They believe in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Our house is special to us, so we shopped around for homeowners insurance.
Liberty Mutual gave us the right protection at the right price. We believe in liberty.
America believes in liberty. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Americans have a peculiar image of the Frenchman, wearing expensive clothes, surrounded by beautiful women, and sipping champagne. Not true, although I must admit I do enjoy my champagne. Thank you. It's J. Roger champagne. It's deliciously crisp, dry, and yet romantically subtle. It fits my simple lifestyle. J. Roger, perfect for a quiet night at home. J. Roger champagne, one of life's simple pleasures.
I've got to play well today. Last time I played this guy, it was tough. Start fast, get on top early. Be aggressive. Think for a change.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next
Hope my Sox match.
played on the center court will be a men's singles final between...
A summer of tennis whites on a sea of green. A hint of gold, strawberries and cream. The occasion, Wimbledon.
A summer of bronzed skin, intense eyes, and championship tennis. The occasion, Wimbledon on NBC.
View may not be quite the same, but a reminder, get up early for your jog. And join us tomorrow, Croissant and Cafe, the men's final live, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The emotional flows of this match. Just when one seems to be in control and building on the momentum, the other snatches it away. And now it's Evert Lloyd up a break, 3-1 in the third.
Zéro, 15.
Last 3 games have gone against the server.
Backhand. Martina's been bitten so often by that backhand. Now the approach stays down. It's a good slice, but the slightest opening is enough for Evert Lloyd.
Boy, she's been accurate. So Chris to the net with that two-handed volley winner.
Evert Lloyd. She'll approach to the backhand. And nice volleying form. It's just enough. Not a stinging volley, but well placed and modulated.
Trente.
30 all. 3-1 third set. Chris the winner in the first, 6-3. Martina in a tiebreaker to even the match in the second. .30 and a giant point for both women. Chris trying to go up 4-1. Martina trying to break back.
Martina is playing very safe, whereas Chris is going for the lines, which is a role reversal.
Dramatic point, and again, as has happened 4 or 5 times, a long rally going to Navratilova. Deuce.
And this is what she said. I'm a better player on clay because I can out-rally even Chris Evert Lloyd. But the problem is she isn't doing what she does so well, which is attack as often as she can.
It's called nerves.
Aha, you still believe in that, eh?
Chris working on the backhand, then try to go cross court and fails. A break point for Navratilova. Is this going to be another in the series of breaks in this third set? Finally, the mistake is made by Navratilova. Deuce. Well, they played 65 times as professionals, many times in championship finals, 15 of those, including this one in a Grand Slam final, and few have been more dramatic and more exciting than this one. Martina seizing the net, and with it, another break chance. 49 times, this being the 50th in a final. First service.
Oh.
Martina doing a little play-by-play. She saw that as a winner all the way.
That's a perfect example of how not to overuse a shot. She just saved it for the right moment. Boom, a winner. Martina wasn't expecting it.
It's long. Evert Lloyd, a point away from 4-1 once again. Her second game point.
Tough on John Lloyd, Coach Dennis Ralston, and brother John Evert.
Long.
Égalité.
The fourth deuce of this critical fifth game in the last set.
John Lloyd, a touring pro himself, and much more difficult to watch a match than to play one in which you're so near to one of the competitors.
Will the third be the charm for Navratilova? Her third chance to break in this game.
Égalité.
She just said, that bounce, I don't believe it. That's red clay for you. You get these bounces all the time.
Longest game of the match. Oh, she caught a line, and the bad bounce was Chris's.
Mademoiselle Navratilova.
Fourth break chance to get even in the third set.
Oh!
Again, the server loses the game, and Navrata is even on serve.
Madame Evert Lloyd mène 3-2, dernier set.
Wow.
The new BMW 735i has an ingenious anti-lock braking system for stopping power far beyond the merely adequate. A new 3.5-liter engine for considerably more than acceptable performance. And a suspension vastly better than good enough. The new 735i exceeds the acceptable in hundreds of ways. But then, it wasn't built to be adequate. It was built to be a BMW.
Over the years, we've watched old number 51 retire a lot of ball carriers, but tonight we're going to retire him. So let's do it his way. Turn over those wine glasses and bring on the Lowenbrow.
Just remember, if you guys start messing up, I'm coming back.
Let it be Lowenbrow.
MasterCard, I need to do nothing.
MasterCard International.
absolutely nothing.
So worldly, so welcome,
MasterCard. When it comes to nothing, you're really something.
An American tradition continues. He was the first player in the National League to be named MVP for 2 consecutive seasons. He is Chicago's Mr. Cub, Ernie Banks. Now MVP Ryne Sandberg leads the Cubs as they face the Pirates, or the Dodgers meet the Braves. The tradition is here. The memories are waiting.
This has developed into their tightest match since the Australian Open final of 1981. Martina won 6-7, 6-4, 7-5. I think she got the line.
She did.
Now abruptly, Martina going back to her strong arm tactics, those that put her on top of the world. And she catches the sideline.
Impressively wins a love game on serve. That's the first time that has happened all afternoon. 3-all. Is that a sign that the many shifts of this championship match have swung in favor of the defending champion Navratilova?
What a critical game this is.
Good.
And there she attacks the forehand, which has brought more dividends to Navratilova than approaching the backhand.
Just long, 15-all. Each point counted so critically by both competitors now. On the line again. That's 2 winners that she's painted on that sideline in this game.
And they're staying on the right side of the court. Everything down the line, and it's Martina's winner on the stripe.
And Chris was coming in behind that deep shot in the corner. 30 all. Well, that's a champion's play to earn another break point.
Chris looks a little bit tired. Martina seems more up, more hopping around all the time.
Martina thought she had the game, but netted that forehand.
There again, Evert Lloyd was opportunistic.
3 all, deuce in the third and final set. Evert Lloyd with some pressure, and it works. So washing away a break chance for Navratilova. Chris holds. It's 4-3 in the third.
Ooh, Lipton tea, you made new, decaffeinated just for me.
Now there's something new under the sun. Introducing Lipton Decaffeinated Instant Iced Tea.
Ooh, Lipton tea, you made new, decaffeinated just for me.
Yes, Lipton also has a decaffeinated instant tea any way you like it, with sugar, with NutraSweet, or unsweetened. Delicious.
Ooh, Lipton tea, you made new, decaffeinated just for us.
AT&T Information Systems on office automation. Most of the business machines sold today only work with their own kind. Anything else is brand X. That leaves your company locked in and some powerful new products locked out. Enter AT&T. Our office design welcomes computers, word processors, networks, and telephones made by many vendors, not just AT&T. That way, as your needs change, so can your system. We make the pieces fit. In AT&T's world, flexibility is everything. Because in business, you never know what tomorrow may bring. AT&T, the right choice.
Along the Seine, the historic Cathedral Notre Dame, casting its giant reflection. 15 minutes away, two of the giants in women's tennis, both closing in on another French championship. Two of the great champions of all time, and what a match this has been for the championship of the 1985 French. Martina Navratilova, dominant in the women's game the last 2 years and more. Chris Evert Lloyd, who has shown her quality over more than a decade, winning at least one Grand Slam title in each of the last 11 years. On serve, final set, 3-4. Martina, who has struggled throughout the match in her service game, suddenly showing her strength, winning the last service game, her last in love, and dominating the first 2 points of this game, trying to go for all. Well, Joanne and Bud, you picked it out early. When Martina's gone to Chris's forehand on the approach, she's been much more successful.
And Chrissy unerring. Gets her right leg right around and belts at the right shoulder, straight up there.
30-15.
It's out.
Late call, but it's long, 30 all.
You notice the players are walking around a lot in between the points. They're just picking up a little bit of extra rest. You know, wait till I tie my shoe. I'm not ready yet.
Right down at the feet of Navratilova with that forehand return. A break chance for Chris Evert Lloyd. A chance, if she can accomplish, would give her a chance to serve for the match.
Which she did back in the second set at 6-5. We gave was to approach the forehand. And that's the forehand of the day.
Chris Evert Lloyd takes the lead, 5-3. And the crowd, many of them on their feet.
A sharply sliced ball, but Chrissy right there. I think she likes it.
So do her fans. And now, for a record 6th French title, Chris Evert Lloyd serving 5-3. What a tennis treat to have a great championship and with such a remarkable match.
Two empresses of the game, undoubtedly all-time greats who will wind up in the Tennis Hall of Fame at Newport, Rhode Island, both of them. And this is maybe the crowning jewel in their life.
Wind gusting and may have blown open the door for Martina to break right back.
Dick, definitely the wind. It just gusted during that last point. Totally moved the ball about 1.5 feet.
Triple break chance for Martina.
Now, Chrissy goes down the line, and that acrobatic Martina has the point. Ooh! And Chrissy returns the favor. Perhaps she isn't the volleyer Martina is, but the effort is there.
from your service, first service, at 15-40. 5-3 in the third. She did indeed. She's broken back, Martina Navratilova. It's 5-4 in the third. And we'll return to the women's match of 1985 after these words from your favorite local station.
Monday, it's Family Ties Bloopers with Michael Gross. Practical jokes on Cyndi Lauper and Knox Landing's Joan Van Art. Plus, animals just want to have fun, too.
Then, Julianne Phillips became Bruce Springsteen's fantasy. Now she can become yours. It's the sexy summer movie. It's this year's hottest romance. Let your summer fantasy begin.
Monday.
In the days of Frederick Miller's Plank Road Brewery, beer makers hoped for long winters. Lots of ice was needed to keep the fresh draft fresh. It's hard to find beer like that today because most bottled and canned beers are cooked to preserve them. Well, now there's a beer cold filtered instead of cooked for that same fresh draft taste. Plank Road, keg beer in a bottle.
The world is waiting. We can take you there with Air Canada style. See how much we care. World class, worldwide. World class, worldwide. Don't fly Air Canada for all the best you deserve. All over the world. World class, Air Canada.
Tom Nettles, weeknights at 5, 6, and 11.
.30 in Paris, the twilight of a magnificent tennis day, and tomorrow more, the men's final. Two of the best clay court players in the world, Yvonne Lendl and Mats Wilander, they were responsible for extinguishing the final American hopes in the semis. Friday's men's semis were played under the cover of dark clouds, occasional rain, and the coldest day of our 2 weeks in Paris, and icy it was for the U.S. Jimmy Connors, seeded third, never in the match. His defending champion and number 2 seed, Yvonne Lendl, swept him out in straight sets. The strategy by Lendl in the near court was to stay back and rally he did, forcing Connors into eventual errors. In fact, the veteran Lendl came to the net only twice the entire match. Connors often would alter the pattern and attack, only to be denied. It's out, and so is Connors, another American victim in Paris. He managed only 6 games against Lendl. Lendl has authored a very impressive 6 convincing wins in this tournament. He proved again that he can hit with anyone. The rangy Czech is quick enough to chase down tough shots, convert them into winners. Jimmy Connors' hopes of a first French title are gone. Lendl's opponent in tomorrow's final, Sweden's Mats Wilander, who denied the number 1 seed John McEnroe yesterday. McEnroe, in the near court, the world's number 1 player, carried high hopes this year for the U.S. The 26-year-old New Yorker lost the first 2 sets, but in the third rallied behind some superb attacking plays. Hopes for the first American to win the French title in 30 years seem brighter in the third set as McEnroe charged into a 5-1 lead. But Wilander in the near court, the 1982 French champion, would be as tough as Swedish steel. Unrelenting, he would deny McEnroe's every advance with impeccable plays. At match point, McEnroe would see his young Swedish opponent complete a sweep of the final 6 games of the match. A typical Wilander winner. The 30-year American drought in Paris continues. 6-1, 7-5, 7-5. The youngest ever win the French, Wilander, was only 17 3 years ago when he won here, is through to the finals tomorrow in Paris for the championship. Mats Wilander and Yvonne Lendl. 2.5 hours ago, she started quickly, winning the first 3 games and took the set 6-3. Then served for the match in the second set, but Navratilova rallied and won a tiebreaker. She has just served and failed to win the match here in the third set, and it's Navratilova, the defending champion, at 4-5. New balls.
No, new balls.
A tough play by Chrissy. The half volley doesn't work.
It has not been advantageous to be the server in this final game. 9 games. The server has lost 6. 15 love.
That's the call. It's good.
She's hit 2 lines to go 30 love. Martina with 8 more winners, and she also has committed more unforced errors. That figured. Two points from 5-all in the third.
Ooh. And Martina applauds herself.
No tiebreaker in this third set. They'll play it out.
Do you sense Chrissy tiring, Joanne Russell?
She looks very tired, but maybe she can get her adrenaline going, and that'll help her a little bit. She just needs 1 point.
It's wide. Another love game for Navratilova. 5-all in the third.
I tell you, there's nothing like a hot steam bath and a cold light beer from Miller.
That's the truth. Light doesn't fill you up, so you can sit back and relax a while.
Ah, that tastes great.
Hey, Ben, how about another cold one? Me too.
Me too.
Me too.
Hey, wait a minute. That ULC?
I didn't say anything.
Uh-oh.
Whoa,
Get out of here. Hurry up,
Where's the door?
I got my hat.
Light beer from Miller. Everything you always wanted in a beer, and less.
I've got to play well today. Last time I played this guy, it was tough. Start fast. Get on top early. Be aggressive. Think. Think for a change.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next
Hope my
match
socks
will be
match.
played on the center court will be the men's singles final between...
For all those confrontations with the unpredictable, BMW introduces the ultimate defense, the 535i, with an amazingly agile suspension, a computer-controlled engine that constantly adjusts to changing driving conditions, and an ingenious anti-lock braking system. The 535i, it lets those who take driving seriously peacefully coexist with those who don't.
An international field of drivers battle it out at the British Grand Prix Motorcycle Championship. NBC Sports World, there is a world of difference.
After 2 hours and 37 minutes, this match dead even. 5-all in the third. Ooh. Double fault. Martina had positioned herself over in the alley initially and then jumped just as Chris made her toss. And double fault.
That's legal. And I tell you, watching Navratilova do it, it's very intimidating.
Love 30 advantage for Navratilova.
And she's percolating now.
It's long. That's 8 straight points won by Navratilova as she bids for back-to-back championships. Misfires on the forehand. One break erased, 15-40. Oh, boy, 15-40 to tie into a backhand like that. 30-40. 2 breaks saved.
Eyeball. Martina the chips. Beautiful drop shot. How did Chrissy ever get the ball? Took a funny hop and allowed Chrissy to stay in the point, and she made the most of it. Oh.
From love 40 to deuce.
She is more than a little ticked that she lost that point.
After losing 8 consecutive points, Chris Evert Lloyd ties her talents back together and wins 4 crucial points in order to gain advantage in this 11th game at 5-all. Terrific play by Navratilova.
Now, Chrissy will be beaten by one of her own tactics, a lob, which she will reach, but she can't do anything with it.
Martina is playing so smart. She knows Chris is tired, and now instead of going for a winner, which Chris might get a racket on, she's going for the percentage lob and making Chris even more tired.
She tried to bring Evert Lloyd in, but
oh, the crust of these two champions.
And the slice, the wind may have held that in the air, Joanne.
That was definitely a drop shot lob. It took a funny bounce, and she sort of caught it on her racket high up, and it just floated over the net. She was so surprised.
Well, in this critical game, Evert Lloyd found herself down a triple break. Navratilova could not capitalize, and now, for the second time, game point to go 6-5. What a comeback from Love 40. It's 6-5 in the third.
You got another set of Michelins, huh?
Yeah.
You really think they're worth more than other tires?
All I know is I got 60,000 miles on my last set of XA4 tires.
60,000? I thought I was doing fine when I got 32,000 miles on my tires. I guess Michelins are worth it.
Yeah. But I got a couple of other reasons I think they're worth it.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
It's a hot one out there today as Peterman starts his engine. The field is wide open.
Gatorade is thirsty.
Dombrowski picks up speed and breaks away.
Gatorade is thirsty.
Here's Evans showing some hustle against the youngsters.
When you exercise, you lose potassium, fluids, minerals. Gatorade Thirst Quencher helps put them back fast.
That's why the pros drink it. It's Thirst Aid.
Gatorade is Thirst Aid for the deep down body thirst.
And the crowd goes wild.
There's something you can use almost anywhere you travel.
Only 3 days left, counselor.
Then it's back to the courtroom in 3-piece lawsuits.
It's used more than any other.
Hey, I paid last time.
For travel, shopping, entertaining, and cash.
Objection. I picked up dinner in Santa Barbara.
Overruled. Who bought supplies at Bodega Bay?
Immaterial.
There's very little you can't do with Visa.
Let's be reasonable, counselor. You buy.
It's all you need.
Breakfast in Paris. Tennis whites on red clay. The best in men's tennis at the French Open, Sunday morning on NBC.
No one has ever questioned her steely courage. Chris Evert Lloyd, a point away from being broken 3 times, rallied to take her service game And now it's Martina Navratilova that must hold serve, or the championship goes to her opponent. As we said at the very start, two tough competitors who have become rather close friends, admiring one another's talents and even borrowing from each other.
And no tiebreaker in France if Martina holds serve.
The play that got Chris started properly wins a critical first point.
This is the closest she's been.
Nope. 15 all.
15 ans.
One great play building on another.
Coming into the backhand again. Martina seems to have made the right choice. She looks for a cross court and just turns her back as soon as the stroke is made.
And then answers with a perfect serve and volley at 30 all. Chris 2 points from victory. Martina needs 2 to extend the match. No tiebreaker.
Home.
40-30. Just long. And an example again in that point, almost 3 hours of tennis, and Martina running down shots that most women would not even get a racket on.
What brilliant point that was at both ends of the court.
Deuce.
Both of these girls are taking a little walk after that point. Martina was bent, doubled over. She was out of breath. What a point.
Match point. Chris Evert Lloyd.
Avantage, Madame Evert.
the familiar champion. A record 6-time. Chris Evert Lloyd, 6'3", 6'7", 7'5".
Turn to Computerland, and you'll find more than the popular IBM desktops, more than great advice. You'll find the most famous names in software and peripherals, all you need to put together just the right system. And if you hurry in before July 12th, we'll give you even more than your choice of these famous names on the IBM desktop. We'll give you the desk, free. But hurry, Operation IBM ends July 12th at participating stores. Computerland, the one thing to know about computers.
Americans have a peculiar image of a Frenchman, wearing expensive clothes, surrounded by beautiful women, and sipping champagne. Not true, although I must admit I do enjoy my champagne. Thank you. It's J. Roger champagne. It's deliciously crisp, dry, and yet romantically subtle. It fits my simple lifestyle. J. Roger, perfect for a quiet night at home. J. Roger champagne, one of life's simple pleasures.
Let the games begin. Prince.
With this huge sellout crowd cheering its approval just moments ago, Chris Evert Lloyd in her moment of triumph, acknowledging a record 6th French championship. It may have been her most satisfying. Her 17th career Grand Slam championship. Martina Navratilova denied but brilliant in defeat. Bud Collins is with the two champions.
Still an empress of tennis, certainly. Martina, when greatness collides with greatness, something has to give. Why did you give today? What happened?
I don't know what gave. I think it seemed whoever got ahead was really playing it too cautiously, and it allowed the other person to come back. Chris was really tentative when she was ahead, and then I was ahead. A lot 40 on her game, on her serve, and just didn't really take the bull by the horn. I was just trying to play too safe, and it got away from me. She made some great gets. It was one of those incredible matches where so many points could have gone the other way, so many games could have gone the other way. I could have just as easily won it in 2, lost it in 2, won it in 3, ended up losing in 3. So it was just too tough, yeah.
Thank you. Ever a champion, Martina Navratilova.
Thank you.
Thank you. Truly, that was splendor in this red dirt. Christine Marie Evert Lloyd, back where you started in 1973 in the final, but this time winning. Why did you win this time?
You got me. I don't know. I went on the court believing that I could win. I think that there was a difference there. I could sense in the beginning of the match that Martina wasn't 100% sharp and maybe a little bit nervous. And I don't know. I just tried to believe in myself, and I had so many leads. And then she would come back and play some great points. So I just tried not to get too down on myself.
Serving for the match at 6-5 in the second set, you lose. Did that take the heart out of you for a moment?
Well, you know, I played that game like I was a little numb. You know, I think that I let Martina dominate me in that game instead of playing aggressively. I wanted her to lose the match rather than myself win the match. And I just, when I was in that situation, 6-5 in the third set, I thought, I just can't guide the ball and just hope that she's going to miss it. I'm going to have to go for, you know, take a few chances. And the last 2 points, I took some chances, and you know, I feel very lucky to have won the match.
Before you played the child, Gabriella Sabatini, in the semifinals, I saw you standing there. You refused to look at her. It seemed to me that your eyes had a little bit of fear in them and a little bit of determination. People thought you could lose that match, and it might have started there. What do you think?
Well, I think it started with my Steffi Graf match. That was the round of 16. German. Yes, the young German girl who has enormous potential, and she was dangerous to me. I played well. I played very well against Gabriella. I found that I was peaking towards the second week rather than peaking the first week. I peaked the last couple matches, and that gave me confidence for this match.
Take a look at her, the Empress of France, 6 times, No one has ever done it better. Congratulations.
Thanks, Bud. Thanks.
Many a masterpiece has been painted in this great city, and a classic today by Chris Evert Lloyd, the 1985 French champion. A look ahead at tomorrow in a moment.
The race, the Indianapolis 500. The car, the Miller American. The driver, Danny Sullivan. And the rest is history. Miller Beer. Purity you can see, quality you can taste.
The BMW 5 Series is composed of two luxury sedans. The 528E, that embarrassed the automotive establishment with sheer technological prowess, and the 535i, that embarrassed it with sheer performance. Which one should you choose? That depends on which part of the automotive establishment you'd rather embarrass. For a test drive, contact your local BMW dealer.
Do you know me? It's frightening how many novels of suspense I've written. But still, when I'm not recognized, it just kills me. So instead of saying I wrote Carrie, I carry the American Express card. Without it, isn't life a little scary?
To apply for the card, look for an application and take one.
The American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
One other championship decided today at Roland Garros in the men's doubles. The Australian team of Mark Edmondson and Kim Warwick in 4 sets defeated Shlomo Glickstein of Israel and Hans Simonsen of Sweden. So Edmondson and Warwick take that title back to Australia. Well, we close out things live, nearly 9 o'clock under a Monet sky here in Paris. And what a day of tennis, Bud Collins. The women really did shine brilliantly.
It was merely a masterpiece, a smorgasbord of shot making. It could have gone either way, and Chris Evert Lloyd somehow willed it her way. I don't think Martina lost it. She was a little cautious, as she said. She might have attacked the second serve more, but I felt that Chris Evert Lloyd won it.
Joanne Russell picked Chris Evert Lloyd.
Well, you said it in a nutshell there. Martina played it safe when she should have been aggressive, and Chris just broomed the lines and took the match away from her.
She was a broomer.
She was a broomer, sweeping those lines.
Oh, yeah. Did you feel, though? I did. I thought she was gone. 5-all, third set, love 40.
She looked very tired in the third set, and I definitely thought Martina had an edge. She started picking up, moving her feet, jumping around, and Chris made a few futile stabs at some volleys. I thought, oh, my gosh, it's slipping away. And then she pulled herself back and held and then broke and took the match.
But you knew when you were 8 years old and Chris Evert Lloyd beat you in Haines City, Florida, that she could beat almost anyone.
Well, even at 8 years old, I was a net rusher, and she can beat a net rusher now.
And she's done it.
Well, Stan Smith was located right next to John Lloyd and Dennis Ralston in the Friends box. What was your impression?
Well, Dick, I just went down there to sit next to my good friend Dennis Ralston just to see if Chrissy could win a few games. And then at that match, and after sitting next to Dennis, I'm drained.
Well, we can look ahead to tomorrow. Mats Wilander and Yvonne Lendl, 2 former French champions. How do you see that one? It would appear, long range, that will be a long match.
I think it's going to be a long match. It's going to be a matter of those long rallies back and forth, but Mats is going to attack. I think really it's going to come down to really a matter of minds. It's going to be the one that's going to want it the most, and it's going to stay out there the longest, and it has the most mental stamina out there.
Pick a winner.
I've got to go with Lendl, just barely, maybe in 5.
Stan Smith selects Yvonne Lendl over Mats Wilander tomorrow. Your feelings about tomorrow?
Well, I think it's the Ostrava ghost, Lendl, who has haunted this game, but I'm going with the Swedish bear, Mats Wilander.
All right, we hope you'll join us tomorrow, live, cafe and croissants, and we'll relive also some of the great moments from today. Au revoir, everyone. Today's coverage of the 1985 French Open has been brought to you by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. To arrange a thorough test drive, phone your nearest BMW dealer. By J. Roget Champagne, one of life's simple pleasures. By Visa cards and traveler's checks. Around the corner, around the world, Visa is all you need. And by Miller Beer. Miller, made the American way since 1855. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. Coordinating producer of tennis, Ted Nathanson. Today's French Open telecast was produced by Jeffrey Mason, directed by Ted Nathanson. Videotape producer Glenn Adamo, videotape director Richard Klein, associate director John Libretto, associate producers Bob Ashay and Howard Zrib. Tomorrow it's Croissant and Cafe from Paris, exclusively live coverage of the men's final, 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Check your morning listings on the West Coast. The men's final between two former French Open champions. Last year's winner, Yvonne Lendl, against 82 champion Mats Wilander. Coming up next, the Dodgers and the Braves, or the Pirates meet the Cubs on baseball's Game of the Week. All exclusively right here on NBC Sports.